Well, we're going to jump right in with your email questions. This is our opportunity or Pat's opportunity to answer the questions that you have posed to him when you've logged on to CBN.com. So once again, we're going to jump right in with Malcolm, who writes in and says, Pat, you know what it's like to be in a pressure situation. Are there some specific tips you follow when you know you're heading into a season of extra emotional or spiritual stress?
Malcolm, there's great peace have they who love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. I think the place to get peace is in the time of prayer with the Lord, where you talk to him, you bring him the problem, you take his solutions, you read the Bible, you let the Word speak to you. I think that's the greatest exercise for peace and calm I know about. There are a lot of other things physically. You can make sure you have enough protein in your body. Don't load up on fatty foods. You know, don't overeat. Don't get excited. You know, in years when I was doing a little bit of boxing as a kid, I got in the ring with this fella who, for some reason, was scared of me. He was a big mistake, but he was frightened, so he was all tense. And he'd been eating a bunch of junk food the night before, so I hit him once in his stomach, and he started to throw up. So I got a TKO. But I mean, you know,
is that fair to hit someone in their stomach? Yeah, I guess it is fair.
That's what you do.
Okay.
Yeah, you hit them wherever you can get them.
Oh, I got you, brother.
But he started to throw up, and the referee came with this ugly look on his face. I thought, oh, I've done something wrong. And he held my hand up, and I won the match. But he ate too much, and he was scared. So be at peace and don't overeat. All right,
and you know, here's another thing, too. I learned this just today, Pat. I was kind of stressed about a particular situation in my life, and I was talking about it. And a dear friend of mine she's like, Christy, you know, part of the issue is you have to allow other people to help you. So I think when we get in stressful situations, we try to take on the burden ourselves when God's like, you know what, you can cast your cares, not just upon the Lord, but on other people too.
Amen.
So that was my little lesson today.
Next question. Thank you for that lesson.
Even though you did just stress me out a couple minutes ago, but I'm not going to go there.
Elizabeth
writes in and says, a few months ago, our department got a new employee who has Fibromyalgia. Yes. She always seems tired, and coworkers wonder why she's not a go-getter. I don't know much about the disease. Can you tell me?
It's a terrible disease, and they're not really sure what causes it. Is it a shock? Is it an injury? Is it some virus that comes in? But it comes into apparently into your central nervous system, and it leads to awful fatigue. People can't sleep soundly, and when they do sleep, they wake up with a jolt. I mean, it just goes on and on. There's so many, you know, ancillary problems with this fibromyalgia. You probably see advertisements on television of medicines that will treat this thing. I don't know if it'll treat it or not, but nevertheless, a little medication wouldn't be hurtful, because that co-worker is dragging, and she wants to work hard, and this thing is just sapping everything she's got. So it's a dreadful disease, and aches, pains, suffering, it goes on down the line. I mean, you can't think of many horrible examples of what it'll do and still not be accurate.
Yeah, feel bad for that. Well, Julie writes in, and Julie says, in the past few months, our middle school daughter has been spending hours watching TV and surfing the web. She's withdrawn from the family and friends, and my husband thinks it's just because she's 13. But I'm wondering if all that screen time is part of the problem as well. What do you think?
Of course it's a problem, Julie. I mean, anything over 2 hours is too much, and they'll just get unconscious. Their brain waves will just go into sort of a dormant state. You don't want your daughter, I mean, get her out of the house, get her up and playing games. And, you know, do it as a family. It'd make it a whole lot much fun. Come on, honey, we're going to play Mumbly Peg or whatever you play, and get the family together.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise she's going to go off into the den or in her room and flip on a computer. There's so many screens to watch. But the answer is, yes, that'll cause antisocial behavior. Yes, it'll hurt them, and you must intervene. You're a parent.
Exactly. They need the jump and the endorphins. The endorphins always happen when you exercise and you move, so that's what she needs.
Okay.
All right, this is a good question. I had to go through this myself. How old should my child be before I take him to the dentist for the first time?
First tooth. First tooth.
Really?
That's what they say. First tooth.
Can I tell you about my experience? Okay, so I waited a while until I think my son
don't have teeth?
Well, he has teeth. Now he has teeth.
All right, he's got teeth.
He's on his second row. Okay, so I took him, I think, when he was about 3 years old. 3, maybe going on 4, because I was trying to wait until he wasn't traumatized. Oh, my goodness. That kid was traumatized. I was traumatized. I think just because the sound of the dentist, and it was just different. And so he's going, ah, and I was, ah. So it was such a bad experience that I waited until probably just a month ago, and he's 6. But then
and his teeth are ruined.
They're not ruined. They're beautiful. Besides, the old ones came out, the new ones are coming in. He's fine.
Well, you've got to be careful because...
He's good.
Kids that suck their thumb a lot, they go around with a pacifier a lot, they're always sucking on fruit juices a lot, they will start having cavities at an early age. They say there's such things as pediatric dentists. When I was growing up, we didn't have pediatric dentists, but I understand they've got them now. So.
They do, yeah, and they're really, really good.
Yeah, so
I heard that, back in the day, that when you guys went to the dentist, all they did was just pull your teeth out. Did they even clean your teeth?
No,
did they just pull your teeth
pull
out?
our teeth out.
And did they have wooden dentures back then?
Yeah.
Like with Washington?
Just like Georgia. I had a carpenter set up a set of them for me, so I wanted to look like the father of our country.
I just felt like teasing you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But that's the answer. You say, how old? Well, how old is when they start bringing their teeth in? Because you want to have good dental hygiene from the get-go. And so a pediatric dentist is the way to go.
That's true.
Is that the last
We're
question?
done.
Well, thank you for those questions.
You're welcome.
God bless you.